Hello, and we are live. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome here, Joyce. Happy to see you. We first and foremost apologize. We're supposed to start this at 2, but we had some issues here and there, but we thank God we have sorted it out. So, welcome everybody. I'm so delighted today to host Joyce in this platform, and we just want to welcome you. So, please join us. We are both immigrants living in different countries, but we have found something that is helping us to live better lives, and that's why we are here today, just to share our stories with you. So feel much welcome. At this time, I just want to welcome Joyce to introduce herself, and then we'll continue.
Thank you, McKenna. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here today. As you heard my name is Joyce, all the way from New Zealand, but I'm a Kenyan by birth. Just like McKenna, I come from Kenya as well. Currently living and working in New Zealand. I am a nurse by profession. So I work full time as a nurse, but I also run this business on the side as my side hustle. I'm also a busy mom of four young kids. So I work as a nurse. I have my side hustle running this business, and I'm also raising four young kids. So it's not easy, but the way our business works makes it possible. So that's about me.
Wow, 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 wow. That is wonderful. Yes. Um, My name is McKenna. I am also a Kenyan. I live in the US, and I bless the Lord for giving us this opportunity just to share our stories with you today. We have a couple of questions here that we'll just go one by one. And I don't know, Joyce, if in your journey
Mhm.
going to New Zealand, New Zealand, how it was for you, because we all have different stories. But I want to ask you, because you have said you're mom of four.
Yeah.
I know for us as Africans, it's all about working so hard
Yeah.
because we want to better our lives. And again, we have those stories that yeah, when you go there, you have to do one, two, three. You have to work so hard, and sometimes we find ourselves really doing that. There is no other option of it. But I want to tell you, to ask you, maybe as you worked so hard for your family, because you have to feed them, you have to do what it takes as a mom. So, did you ever felt like you are missing in their lives at some point?
That's a good question, McKenna. And reflecting back on my life 2 years ago, that was before I started this business. I was working back to back. As a registered nurse, you're rostered to work shift work, you have to be there. I used to work 40 hours a fortnight. So I was just working back to back, working so hard to provide for my kids. But at the same time, I was missing out. I was missing a very important aspect of their life. The mom here is busy working, trying to provide for them. But I was barely getting enough sleep, barely getting enough time with my kids. I was doing everything for them, but I wasn't with them. That's the difference. You're providing, you're working so hard to provide for them, but you're never with them. So I realized something needed to change, because what's the aspect of just working so hard to provide for these kids, but you barely have time for yourself and you barely have time for them? So that's when I realized I needed change. Something was missing. I needed to do something different that would give me a different result. And that's when the idea of starting something different, something digital, not looking for a second job, that's when I thought I need to look for a digital opportunity. So maybe McKenna, maybe I've answered your question. I don't want to give more my story, but the realization of my life needed to change. There's no way I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna continue working back to back. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. I'm overwhelmed. I'm missing on my kids' milestones. I'm missing in their lives. I realized, Joyce, you need to think outside the box. You need to think what you need to do that can bring you more closer to your children. Because there's more to life, McKenna. There's
Oh,
more to
yeah.
just working back to back, paying your bills, and you're never there for your children. These kids grow up and they'll remember mommy was always working so hard. Yes, she provided. The kids know it's our responsibility to provide for them. But they'll be like, mommy was never there for us. Mommy missed our birthdays. Mommy missed saying goodnight to us. Mommy was never there. So that's when I realized I need a change. Back to you, McKenna.
Wow, thank you. And change is really important for us. And especially when you find yourself there, you like, yeah, I need to do it differently. Yeah, that's really important. So probably as you worked so hard, I know juggling between motherhood, juggling between settling down, juggling between new culture. How did you find balance in all that?
Well, that's a good question, McKenna, because honestly, it's not easy, especially being an immigrant and being from Kenya or being from an African country. We have so much responsibilities with us. So balancing motherhood, balancing work, being present for your kids, not just being present, showing up, being happy, being available, being involved in the activities, and also showing up to your job, showing up to your business. It wasn't easy. Honestly, it wasn't easy. So for me, and that pressure of even settling in a new country and having the pressure that I want to excel, I want to do better, I want to excel in all areas, motherhood, my work, the pressure was too much. And in these countries, you've no family. You just find yourself, it's you and your immediate family. You don't have the extended family who can lend you a helping hand. You're just
Yeah.
stuck there. You've no break. You're just hustling. I just felt like I couldn't breathe. I just felt, I couldn't breathe. I needed change. I was suffocating. And honestly, I started forgetting who I was,
Mm-hmm.
because you have so much pressure to succeed. You want to achieve that American dream, yet you have constant bills. You have so much responsibility. You have kids who are waiting for a mom to be present and available. Pick them from school, drop them, be there to do their homeworks. You have to show up at work. McKenna, trust you me, many migrants can resonate with us. We come to these countries and the pressure is too much, and most people, they're succumbing to the pressure and breaking down. People are getting depressed because of the pressure is too much. Family responsibilities, pressure of working 2 to 3 jobs to provide and cater for the bills. And that's where this business opportunity comes in. This is where
Mm-hmm.
these businesses come in to lessen that burden. And this
Yeah.
is where me, you, and so many business owners have said enough is enough. I need to find a balance. I need to find a better way to achieve that work life balance. And that's where this business opportunity came in. And as I said earlier, that's when I told myself, I need change. I will not allow myself to get mental breakdown. I need change. In what
Mm-hmm.
change? Going digital, going online. Online opportunity that will allow me to work less, or rather work smarter, not harder. Back to you, McKenna.
Oh, thank you for sure. For me, in fact, the hardest part was burnout because
Mhm.
I came with that mentality, and all the time I was trying to. You see, sometimes when you come here with even with your master's degree or
Mhm.
even with your PhD, you have to go back again. For me, I came, yes, in Kenya, I was serving as a pastor, but still here I had to do my second master's. You're like beginning again.
Yeah.
Your life, and that comes with a lot of struggle, burnout,
Mhm.
sometimes a cultural difference and all that.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh my goodness, this is tough. But yeah, that's why I was not able to look for any other physical job for me because I
Mhm.
was already worn out. I was like,
Yeah.
I needed something that is flexible that I can
Mhm.
just do from the comfort of my home. Yeah.
Mhm.
So as we are talking about juggling between the motherhood and all this, and also paying the bills, work, the burnout issues. Did you ever felt stuck? at the beginning, even before now you are able to find this new way? Did you ever felt stuck, like you just paying the bills, you're there, work, you're there, you're burnout? Like, did you find yourself in that situation?
Absolutely, absolutely. I felt stuck. I found myself in a repetitive cycle, a repetitive cycle, I just sat back and asked myself, is this the kind of life that I desired? Is this the kind of life that I deserve? Is this the kind of life? Is this the lifestyle that I thought I'd come and achieve the American dream? I'd have time with my family. I'd have the finances to give me a good life. But the reality was, I didn't have the time or the energy to look for a second job, or rather overtimes or multiple jobs, because I already had too much on my end. Being there for your kids, raising young kids, having a full-time job, my goodness, it was really taking a toll on me. So I had to think outside the box, I had to think of a way that I would lessen um not just lessen my hours. That was the goal, to lessen my hours at work and be more present. But I had to look for a way to create a second income stream, a second
Yeah.
income stream, but in a way that that second income stream is not taking my time, or rather taking me further away from my family, but
Yeah.
rather a second income stream that can work 24 hours, a business that works by automation. I don't have to be physically there. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
now look for another job that I have to leave my children. Already I'm straining, but I don't need a second job that will add more strain, more burnout, more fatigue, take me away from my kids. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where now I was like, Joyce, look for an online opportunity. And honestly, McKenna, at that point in life, I started going online, and I tell people I had a conversation with God. And it's good to
Yes.
involve God. I tell people about this business opportunity. What is your gut feeling telling you about this business opportunity? Have you talked to God? I talked to God, and I told God, God, there must be something out there. I know, God, you did not bring me in this country just to suffer. You did not bring me to this country to just survive. You brought me to excel. You brought me for a reason and a purpose. And I was like, God, there must be something out there, genuine and legit, that I can do, that can supplement my income, or rather that can give me a few, a second income stream, even if it's just $500 a month to help me cater
Mm,
for my grocery shopping. And I'll be grateful, that will lessen my burden. And I
mm.
felt so much peace, McKenna. I felt so much peace when God answered my prayer. And McKenna, trusting me, starting this digital business has been the best decision. Finding this business, the kind of fulfillment it's brought, not just to me, but my children. I'll talk about that. I know you have such a question ahead. Let
Yeah.
me talk about that later. But thank you for that question.
Yeah, you just make me feel emotional because I it reminds me of 2023 when something just stuck in my mind. I was like, hey, what about your future, McKenna? And
Mm,
I as a believer, I just sat down there and started praying, telling God, can you please, what about my future, God? Because I realized I had not saved enough. I
mm,
realized there's no way at my age, because I came to this country at 40. I was like,
mhm,
there's no way I could make it to where I dreamt. And therefore,
mm,
I started praying and telling God, can you please open doors? Oh, can you do this? Financial breakthrough, just the way we do all the time. And
mm,
something came in my spirit that, McKenna, you have to do something. I was like, what? Hey,
mm,
you have to do something. And that kept on repeating itself. McKenna, you have to do something. And I was
mhm,
like, okay, let me go look for a physical job. I realized, oh no, I couldn't do that. And then I
mhm,
started thinking about digital online business. Not really digital because I never
mm,
knew about digital. And I
mhm,
remember when I found it, I prayed and asked God, are you sure this is where you want to bless me? And God
mhm,
said yes. So I really agree with you when you say yes. All the time, make sure you involve God in whatever you do.
mhm,
So our fourth question is, I know All well said. But what keeps you going on the hard days? And that, what is your why? What keeps you going?
Wow, that's a very good question, McKenna, because every time someone asks me about this business opportunity, I ask them, why do you want a digital business? Why do you want a second income stream? Do you have a reason or do you just want to work online? Well, McKenna, for me, my children are my why.
Mm-hmm.
My children are the reason why we come live to you, you who are watching us. We come live because we want to fight for them. We want to give them a better future. When I look at my children, I just don't want to provide for them. I want to be there for them. I want to be physically present in their lives. I want to be involved in their lives. I realized, McKenna, my oldest daughter is turning 10. And I realized I've missed most of my milestones while I was busy building my career. I was never there. I was busy building my career. And now I
Mm-hmm.
have three other young ones whom I was like, no, I want to be present in their lives. I don't want them to grow up saying mommy was too busy building her career, but she was never there for us. So, McKenna, many parents out there, especially us immigrant parents, we are stuck in a cycle of working endlessly to provide for our children, to cater for our families back home. But at the end of the day, we don't have time for ourselves. We don't have time for our children. We are leaving our children for other people to take care of them. We are leaving our children with gadgets to keep them occupied, but we are not nurturing them. We don't have the time. I don't blame anyone. I don't blame anyone actually. It's good to work hard.
Yeah.
However, there are better ways to provide for your kids. There are better ways, and that's why we come every day to tell you more about this business opportunity, whereby you can earn passively while still being present with your kids. So
Yeah.
my kids are the reason why, McKenna, I want I just want them to know our mommy did not just work to survive. Our mommy built something powerful, something that she can leave as a legacy to us.
Mm.
Something she worked so hard so that she can be there to nurture us, to instill morals, to instill values in us. And when these kids will grow, I'll be like, Joyce, that was the best decision you made. Look at the sacrifice you made. You
Mm-hmm.
sacrificed your time. You built a business that enabled you to be present physically, a business that you are not just there physically. It was given you the finances to provide for them. What else would a mother ask for? I tell immigrant moms, I'm a champion of empowering immigrant moms, just like you, McKenna. I tell
Mm-hmm.
immigrant moms, you don't have to work hard and miss those moments of your kids. You can still have your main job and have an online business as your plan B that will
Mm-hmm.
not compromise your main job. You can have your main job instead of picking a second or a third job. Have an online side hustle that will help you to earn passively, and that passive income, you bring
Mm-hmm.
it back home. You'll be working on your business alongside your children, and if you can do it, you can do it as well. So come on board. Let us
Yes.
teach you how.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for those who are still there listening to us. Yeah, this is all what you're talking about is something that is so practical, something that is happening to most of the people there, and especially moms who have to have that moment to nurture their children. I know
Mm,
sometimes we always tell God, oh, bless me with children, but do we still, are we present for them?
mm,
That doesn't say that you don't have to pay your bills and all that, but are you present? And that's what
mm,
we are saying. We have another option. There's something else that you can still do. And that takes me to our last question. All right. I have to hide that and okay, show that. All right. And that's why I want to ask you, Joyce, if I
mhm.
told you a digital side hustle could change your life,
Yeah.
would you believe it? Or maybe to somebody who is listening to us, would you think that can really change your life?
Well, McKenna, for me, I didn't at first. We are used to these online opportunities. We hear online. And honestly, most online opportunities that I've come across, they've backfired on people. So when I heard of online opportunities, even myself, I told God, God, guide me. There must be something out there. Guide me to something that's legit and genuine. Please, God, guide me. And that's why I took my time before I started just any other business. However, however, I still went for it. Why?
Yes.
Why did I go for it? I doubted, I was skeptical, but I pushed myself beyond my fears. I pushed myself because my why was bigger than my fear. My reason for wanting change was greater than my fear. My reason for wanting a better life, my reason for wanting to be present in the life of my kids was greater than fear of starting this business. I was
Mm-hmm.
skeptical. Most people are skeptical. However, I did not just be stuck. I did not allow myself to be stuck in that situation of just being skeptical, because skepticism will not pay your bills, McKenna.
Oh
Fear will
yeah.
not pay your bills. But if you look at most businesses, people took risks in those businesses. Many people start a business without knowing if you'll get the customers, if your business will excel or not. But that risk, with time, it grows, and you start seeing the blessings. So for me, my children were worth the risk. I took
Mm-hmm.
the risk. But before taking the risk, I did my due diligence, McKenna. I always tell people, by the way, do your due diligence.
Oh
Find
yeah.
out about this business opportunity, because not every online opportunity is genuine. Do your due diligence. And that's why we tell people, go to our website and watch that free webinar. It's free. Just log on with your name and email address. Find out about this business opportunity. What is it about? After you watch the webinar, if you want to learn more, that's when we tell you, go to whoever you learn this business about. If it's McKenna, if it's Joyce, reach out to me. Find out more information. Find out if it's a business that resonates with who you are. Do the values of this business align with you? Does the business structure work around your values? But I tell most moms, most immigrant moms, most professionals who are busy working 2 to 3 jobs, this is a business that has been it's been formulated for the busy work life. It's been formulated to work for moms who are busy, for professionals who are busy. Why? It's a business that's working on automation. You don't have to be physically there, McKenna. Like now, McKenna,
Mm.
I just came from a night shift. I just came from a night shift. Most people give excuses. I don't have time to run a business. I came from a night shift. I don't have to go straight to bed. I dedicate like an hour for my business. Why? Because I'm committed to making my business work. I'm
Yeah.
committed to spending at least 1 hour daily for my business. So,
Mm.
McKenna, when I find people being stuck and saying, I don't think I can do any online opportunities,
No
that's too
time.
good to be true. I don't have
Yeah.
the time. Have you tried this business opportunity? And also, there's someone who once asked me, um, I've had many business opportunities have started online and they've collapsed. What makes you think your business will not collapse? And my reason was like, why are you being so negative? Why don't you ask yourself, will it work? What if it works? Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Give
Mm-hmm.
yourself the positivity. What if it works? If it's
Yeah.
working for McKenna, despite being a busy pastor and handling 3 ministries, 3 churches. McKenna is so busy. She's still raising young kids. She's
Yeah.
still nurturing 3 churches, and she's still showing up for her business. I'm a busy mom. I have 4 kids that I'm raising. I'm still a full-time registered nurse, and I'm still showing up for my business. Mom, what excuse do you have? I'm in New Zealand. McKenna is in the US. This is a global business that's working for all of us. So, McKenna, I hope I've answered your question. Yes, I doubted. I had my doubt. I was so skeptical. However, I showed up and I took the decision to switch it up and go digital. And trust you me, McKenna, that's been the best decision of my life.
Wow, 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 wow. Mine too. Wow. Thank you so much, Joyce. We really appreciate you for sharing your story with us. And I think if you're out there, we really appreciate people in the comment section. Thank you to I can't see the name. Be a blessing with Freya. I can't read that, but yes, Josepha there. We really appreciate you. You comment. Josepha says skepticism won't take you anywhere. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
True.
I also thank God I made this decision.
Yeah.
I was very skeptical at the beginning, but I realized, as you said, it will never pay my bills.
Yeah.
And I really had to take that leap of faith and tell God, guide me, walk with me. And
Mm,
I have seen a lot of change, a lot of difference in my life
mm,
because this is Joseph again is saying this is a great opportunity for
mm,
sure. So if you're
mm,
out there, please, we are streaming this live in our pages. You can follow us. Our links are there. You can just register with your name and with your email. You can also, our numbers are there. You can DM us, you can call us. We are ready to plug you in. Yes, ready to plug you in. Otherwise, thank you so much. Unless if you have a last word to say, Joyce, before we finish.
Yes, McKenna, I'll address this especially to not just immigrant moms, all immigrants. You did not just move to that country to survive. You took a risk to go to that country. You didn't know what awaited you in that country. That was a risk you took. Now, you're in that country and you're working back to back. You hardly have time for yourself. You hardly have time for your family. You hardly have time to even be in that house that you're working so hard to pay the bills, to pay for that mortgage. You're working so hard to pay that mortgage that you'll repay back in the next 20 or 30 years. What if I told you? What if we told you there's a better way? What if
Mhm.
we told you you don't have to work that hard, but you can work smarter and still have a better life? What if
Yeah.
we told you you don't have to be away from your family constantly, like doing 2 to 3 jobs, but you can work smarter and be more present and involved in the life of your kids. Those children need you.
Mm.
Mothers, let us prioritize our kids. As much as we are working hard to provide for them, let us remember the kids, they need us more. They need us to nurture them. They need us to guide them. They need us to mold them. Let us mold our generation that will be raised by parents who are present. Let us not leave our kids just to gadgets, to the TV, to all these, online stuff because we are not there. Immigrants out there, these are business opportunity that can change your life.
Mm.
McKenna, I watched the mastermind, our last mastermind for this week. I think it
Yeah.
happened yesterday.
Yesterday.
It was just mind blowing. What this business is doing to people out there. I watched that lady give what this business has done to her. She brought everyone, she made everyone emotional because this is a business that's transforming the lives of people. Guys, stop watching on the sidelines. Come on the inside. If you
Mm.
really desire change, reach out to McKenna, reach out to me. This is a business opportunity that cannot just not only supplement your income, but surpass your income and give you a better life. So stop complaining and start acting. Stop saying, up to when, God, up to when will I live this kind of life? Do something. God is giving you a sign, but you're still watching us and not taking action. Stop watching, start acting. Thank you,
Mm.
Martina.
Oh wow, that is. I don't know. Sometimes when I think about this business, all the time, I'm like, I remember all the cycles that I've been in life, especially as an immigrant,
Mm-hmm.
trying so hard to serve God,
Yeah,
but still the struggle is real. Yes, you're serving God, but the struggle is real because
yeah,
it doesn't matter whether you're a pastor, whoever you are. The struggle for us is the same, and
true.
all the time I keep on telling God, thank you for opening my eyes.
Mm,
Because sometimes the enemy can be there just to block you and you'll never see. But for us who are in, we are enjoying this. It's really making a huge difference in our
Mhm.
lives. And
Yeah.
therefore, come, please join us. Yeah, you thank us later.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah.
God bless you. Shalom.